What's up? Rick Paulton, and I am joined tonight by Cass and Kylie of the Horrorcraft podcast, as well as Spooky Mom's Coven. How are you ladies doing this fine evening?
Great.
So energetic.
We're here.
We're here. Actually, I'm more excited than Kylie because we're talking about like one of my hyperfixations.
Okay, but like that's not even fair because I love this movie. You just have more knowledge.
See, it makes my heart warm to know that you love this movie so much. It makes me feel like I'm converting you.
And speaking of the movie, we are talking about Guillermo del Toro's 2025 adaptation of Frankenstein this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to have you on for this because like you're one of the most universal monsters experts that I know, and plus you guys actually read books. I don't read books, so
I mean,
your perspective on the source material will prove to be valuable.
I tried to read books, but my kids don't let me.
It's hard. I have a couple books because I had the Bloody Essentials girls on before, or maybe it was on their podcast. I heard them say it, but they said if you go in a man's bedroom and he doesn't have any books, don't fuck him, leave. So
that's really good advice. That's really good advice.
That's solid advice.
I got books. Because of that, I have books. So I've got like 5 books. So I had none books, but now I have 5 books. Ask me how many of them I've read. The answer is 0. I've not read either one of them.
You have them. It counts.
I have them. I have read in the past. I mean, when I was younger, I used to read a lot, but I just can't find the time, and I don't know.
Well, I was a nerd.
I've been listening to audiobooks.
And that's what some people suggested to me. And I think since I drive for a living half the time, I think I'm going to start doing that too.
Yeah, that's usually when I'll listen to them. Like I've been listening to Interview with the Vampire so I can get brushed up on the new season of The Real Vampire Lestat. And I love that shit.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was just a nerd growing up, and like how you have the Funko Pops up around where you're right now. I had books, and so like I read really not great things for fun. Like one of the first big books I read was like The Rise and the Fall of the Third Reich about Nazis and World War II. And then I went into Dracula and then Frankenstein and all these other books. So like I was very much that person growing up.
Right on. Yeah, no, I never read that book, but
yeah, I mean, listen, I just did it because I wanted to, but like, yeah, don't. If you don't have an interest in it, don't read it. It's like 5,000 pages.
Yeah. No, when I was a kid, I read a bunch of the Stephen King books, and then I also read I used to read a lot of biographies and nonfiction books, but now I still read. But when I read, it's just going through the phone and looking up stuff, and just don't have time to read. But one day maybe, who knows? But yeah,
I think it's also harder when you're older. Like I've noticed since hitting 30 that like it's harder for me to like sit and really read. I can take things in bite-sized chunks. But like actually going through, because like I'm with Kylie, like I'm at the point right now where I'm trying to go through and reread Interview with the Vampire and different ones to get caught up. But like I can only do a couple chapters and my mind is like 27 different places. Like
I would love to just be hyper freaking focused on a book, but life doesn't let me do that.
Yeah, I think the last time I was hyper focused on a book was when we were at Johnny and Friends, not this year, but last year. And I was reading the Final Girls support group.
You were.
Yeah, I was very hyper focused on that. But I think that was the last book that I really was like, I have to finish this.
The last books I remember reading were like Mario Puzo's books.
Oh.
Godfather and The Last Don. that there was a third one too, which was a really good one. Never got made into a movie, but I can't remember the name. Omerta.
Yeah.
So shit, I think I was a teenager when I read those, though, and I'm freaking almost 50 now. So
I've read a lot. I mean, I've read a lot of books as an adult. Like when I was in active addiction, it was so weird. I was homeless, but I had a bunch of books, and I would read books, and people were like, "What the fuck? Like, this does not match up with this lifestyle." But what are you gonna do?
I feel like it's harder for me now too, because a lot of the ones that I loved and wanted things to come out of are now coming out, and I'm like, because I would have loved to have reread Frankenstein before watching this, but I did not have the steam.
Right on.
How many pages is that?
Frankenstein is not as big as some others. Mind you, I have like really nice bound versions of both Frankenstein and Dracula. Like obviously my Dracula copy, it looks like the Bible because that is my Bible. I feel really weird for saying that. I'm not blasphemous, I promise. But like I have a really nice copy of that. But then I also have like a really nice vintage copy of Frankenstein. I think the problem is especially when you know something like this is coming out, you feel like you have to pay more attention, especially when it comes to Guillermo del Toro, because like this film he's been wanting to make since 2007. So it was kind of like the Super Bowl for monster lovers. So I felt like, okay, if I'm going to read this, I really need to focus. And that focus was not there.
So I wanted to watch before we talked, and after I watched Frankenstein, I wanted to watch The Shape of Water. He directed that too, right?
Yes.
And that's like his adaptation of The Creature. So it's like he's kind of doing a whole Universal Monsters universe thing going on.
Yeah, if you've ever actually seen pictures of, I think it was a couple years ago, he did like a architectural digest type spread, and they actually went into his house. And if you go on Facebook, it like routinely shows up. But Guillermo del Toro's house is like the house to go if you are a monster lover, because not only does he have everything that he's ever done proudly displayed, like, you know, from Blade 2 to like Hellboy, but he has like life-size figures, including one of Frankenstein, but he has all of that just around his house. Like the way his films look are the way his house and everything around him looks.
Yeah, and this movie in particular was just beautifully shot. It's going to win Oscars, or at least be nominated. I think it's going to win some stuff. I'm pretty excited.
Hope it does.
I don't really like long movies, and God, was this a long movie? It was like 3.5 days, I think is how long the runtime. But I made it through it, and I in one shot, two shots. Twice. I watched it twice in one shot each because I watched it earlier today. And usually with a movie that long, I'll break it into like pieces because I just don't have the attention span I used to have. But I was kind of bummed that we didn't get it anywhere in theaters around here. Did you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, honestly. Probably not, because usually a lot of like lesser known or like limited release movies I do not get. That's why I traveled an hour and 40 minutes away to see Lineage.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, I know you live like down in the middle of nowhere, so I figured, if we didn't get it included, we didn't get it. But
that is the one thing I think, not getting too off topic, but I do think I've seen a lot of other creators talk about this, but like that is the one scary thing about Warner Brothers and Netflix merging, is Netflix really honestly kind of dropped the ball on this, because I do feel like I appreciate the limited run, but they didn't put it in a ton of theaters. I think if they had put it in more theaters, if they had given it kind of the press junket that like Sinners had, or even like now,
they made a ton of money, but they were just they were more interested in using it as a vehicle to sell subscriptions.
Yeah,
they went to a theater is for Oscar.
Yeah, it just like, I appreciate the way that they did certain things, but I do think that this movie would have been a lot bigger if they had given it just a little bit more of, I understand having like a limited run and then going to streaming because obviously it's Netflix, they're going to want to get their money, but I do think that
I would have been okay with waiting longer to see it come on Netflix, you know what I mean?
Well, the thing was is they just wanted to use it to sell subscriptions, because if that was the only way you could get it, you're going to buy a subscription.
Yeah, because this is a deal that Guillermo del Toro and Netflix made together. So this is the second in his movies that he's doing for Netflix, the first being Pinocchio.
Pinocchio is a Netflix exclusive?
Yeah, Pinocchio was a Netflix exclusive. So he's supposed to be doing other ones. But it is interesting because, like, comparatively, Christoph Waltz is in this movie, but he's also in Dracula, A Love Tale. And like they only released it in select theaters overseas. And once it started getting more popular, they started expanding it. And then like they're bringing it overseas at the beginning of the year. And I will say that I watched a chunk of it on TikTok. I'm the first person to say that but I will also be in theaters when it comes to theaters and watching it.
Sure.
But I just think like, you see how Sinners did. This is a movie that is equally fighting for that like year space. Like Sinners and Frankenstein are kind of in the same. I do not want to hear any slander about Weapons being in that category, because Weapons was all right, but Weapons is nowhere near the fighting power that Frankenstein nor Sinners has.
It was just a totally different movie, like Sinners. They did have an IMAX 35 millimeter release, which was that part was limited, and I was able to see that, and that was just a beautiful movie on the big screen. Where Weapons was a great movie, and it was good to see it in the theaters. I see everything in the theater, but it wasn't something that needed to be in the theater. Where Frankenstein, I think, I'm hoping that maybe after a while, after Oscar season, maybe they re-release it in theaters. And
I would love to see like an IMAX re-release, because this is something that I would travel to and go see in an IMAX like theater.
I think it's a possibility. I think they might do that, especially in Oscar season, because the only reason, like I said, the only reason they did release it in the theater period is because Oscar has a rule that your movie has to be in theaters for X amount of days or it can't be nominated. So they're really after, and that goes a long way for Netflix to have Netflix movies winning Oscars, and the mainstream theater doesn't like that, because they want to. They don't like the streaming company, moving in on their game.
No, definitely not. And it's just interesting to me that they would. I don't know. Like I see the benefits of this, because I am appreciative, because again, starting this, like what I was saying is, this is a movie that Guillermo del Toro has wanted to make since 2007. Like he's actually had parts of this done since 2007. Like he has championed for this, like, and originally when they started principal filming in 2024, Andrew Garfield was actually supposed to be the creature, not Jacob Elordi. Like they had different versions of this. Yeah.
I can't picture him.
I can't either. I couldn't with Jacob Elordi. I had a little bit more faith, but it does make me excited, especially because like seeing him in this role, his next role that he's taking on is Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights. And that's also a personal favorite of Guillermo del Toro that he references a lot for like his ideas and stuff like that. So I'm very interested, even though like this Wuthering Heights is not going to be like actual Wuthering Heights. It's going to be more like girly pop Elvis, Baz Luhrmann type Wuthering Heights.
Previews with my daughter. I think she wants to see it, so we're going to go see that.
Oh, how old's your daughter?
13.
Okay, well, she might be okay. It might get a little nasty.
Right on it. Well, as long as it's not like the ugly stepsister, that'll be cool. Do you guys see that one?
I tried watching it, but I didn't have the attention span. But now that there's a English dubbed version, I'm gonna check it out.
It's pretty good. So I knew my daughter would love it, but I seen it in the theater first, and there's some very explicit pornographic sex scenes. So I'm like, oh no, she can't see that. So I finally did watch it with her. But I had seen the movie so many times, I knew when to just fast forward a little bit. I muted the TV and threw a blanket over her.
I just feel like from the previews and the fact that Charlie XCX is doing the music for it, and she already had her video come out for it, and Wuthering Heights could go one way or another. I just feel like there's gonna be some explicit because the whole story is kind of incestual.
Okay.
So it's very, the whole story is about two people being raised together. They fall in love and then they make a choice. And then it's a whole I'm oversimplifying it, but.
What are they, cousins? Or they brother and sister? What?
They're adopted.
They're adopted.
Yeah, they're adopted brother and sister, and the
oh God, no! Come on, that's still no.
Well, I have sisters that I'm not blood related to, and no, I wouldn't. I personally,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that actually kind of rolls into this.
That's some Joe Dirt shit.
That actually kind of rolls into some of the changes that Guillermo del Toro made. So a lot of people didn't realize this, but in the movie, Mia Goth plays both the mom and Emily, and that was a conscious choice. That was something that was different, but the reason they did that is because of Victor's Oedipus complex.
Yes.
And recognizing that that's why he likes her, a lot of his mom in her, and he feels like this redemption through her, even though they're never going to work out. Emily's too smart for Victor.
So before we get too much into this, the movie and the differences between the book and the movie, without getting into too much detail, did that really bother you that they changed a lot of this stuff? Or are you one of the people see me, an adaptation is just that. It's your telling. I don't want to see the exact same thing. That's just me. But don't change it too much either. And I didn't read the book. Do you feel that he accomplished having the core of the original book and didn't change it too much, just changed it enough? Or were you offended by some of the changes he made?
I wasn't personally offended by any of the choices. I didn't have any doubt in Guillermo del Toro because he does a really good job at adapting a lot of different things. And this is something, again, he's been championing for years. This is kind of his, the movie he wanted to do before he died. And some of the choices that he made, I think they work better because a lot of it too, in some adaptations, they really try hard to make Victor likable. Victor is not supposed to be likable. Victor is a monster for a reason. And just even some of the imagery behind the castle that he gets and everything like that. Some of the depictions of monsters, the use of Medusa behind him in a lot of times was very intentional. So I don't think any of the changes he made were drastic. I mean, monster lovers, you could come fight me on the street about it. In my opinion, I just felt like whatever he did change, it wasn't anything that really took away from things. Because this is supposed to, I think a lot of times we forget Frankenstein is not about Victor. It's about his need to be God and kind of prove his father wrong through this inherent trauma. And really he does the worst possible sin, which is he does create this life, but then feels no responsibility for it. And he becomes exactly the monster he was trying to chase that his father was. So I think a lot of people sometimes want to focus on Victor. And listen, I'm not saying Oscar Isaac wasn't hot in this movie, because it's Oscar Isaac being, Victor Frankenstein, but like the movie is supposed to be about the creature. And I do think like Christoph Waltz's character is not in the book. The ending is different than the book ending. And I do think that I didn't see a problem with that. So I don't feel like there's anything that really changed that was too substantive. I feel like it was very beautifully done, and in a way that I think makes you think about things, which is the reality of what being a monster is because society wants you to think that the creature is the monster, but the monster the whole entire time is Victor.
Oh, absolutely. What were Kylie? What was some of your favorite adaptations prior to this?
As far as books, can it be not
like
horror?
Frankenstein adaptations?
Oh, honestly, it's my first Frankenstein movie I've ever seen besides, Monster Squad, but that's not just Frankenstein. That's all of the Universal monsters. But
so you never seen what was it, 1930, 41?
No.
Oh, wow. See, I just seen those in the theater. At Halloween, Regal had a thing where every night they had a different Halloween movie. And the last week of the month was all Universal monster movies. Most of them I'd seen before, but I hadn't seen Bride of Frankenstein before, and that was one of them. And I highly recommend it if you haven't seen that. Like, and if you really like this, I mean, it'd probably be good to go back and just see how close it was to the original. And I never read the book, so I didn't know that the part where he meets the blind man. I know that from Bride of Frankenstein. And I thought that was just something that was just, like in Guillermo del Toro, I thought he was just maybe trying to mix the two movies into one movie. I had no idea that was in the book, which was cool to find out. But yeah, so it had well, to me, it had bits and pieces of Bride of Frankenstein, but I guess it wasn't Bride of Frankenstein at all. I guess that was all in the same book. In the book, do they create the bride or no?
No, in the book they don't. As far as I'm remembering, in the book it's purely like the way that we're seeing it on screen is the way that it does kind of happen, where the ship and it being. But in the book, the parts with Victor is being told by the monster. Victor is not narrating his own part. Yeah. So that was a change up, but no.
So was Bride of Frankenstein just a movie, or there was like no books on the Bride?
I don't know if Bride of Frankenstein was actually a book. Like I think it was purely a creation for the Universal monsters. I could be wrong in that, but in the original, I don't think the bride is a part of the actual like Frankenstein.
There's a lot of the movie Bride of Frankenstein that's in this movie, which then from talking to other people came from the book, like the part with the blind guy where he's learning how to read and stuff. That was in Bride. And then the fact where he wants Victor to make him a mate, I guess that was in the book too. I don't know. But the actual bride I don't think was. But in the movie, the bride.
So I wondered about this, but so in the original Mary Shelley novel, the concept of Bride of Frankenstein is there, but she's just an unfinished creation that Victor Frankenstein destroys. And so like him demanding a mate is part of that, but it was never actually like, there was never actually a
book with the beehive and everything. No,
yeah, I think that was a total like creation of.
So then in the movie Bride of Frankenstein, who creates her?
Victor does.
Yeah.
Victor does,
okay.
He's forced to basically. But
yeah.
In the movie Bride of Frankenstein, it opens with the actress that plays the bride as Mary Shelley, and she's sitting in like a dinner party talking to people, and like they're praising her for her book. I said, yeah, and then I wrote a sequel to it too, and the sequel is what we watch in the movie. But I don't think there was ever actually a book. I don't think there was.
Yeah, there wasn't. It basically in the movie, the creature kind of threatens Victor to create him a mate,
Mhm.
and him and his mate will go disappear.
Yeah.
So, because originally a big difference in this movie is Emily is actually Victor's fiance in the book.
Yeah.
Where in this one, she's
They shifted to his brother.
Yeah. And it was more or less, that was an intentional thing that was done because of the relationship that's set up in the beginning with his mom and his dad, where they purely had a very political relationship. And he felt like his dad villainized his mom a lot. And so it kind of like creates this conflict between them about where originally he, is he feeling this way because he just wants to take this from his brother because his brother took his mother from him. Right. That type of thing. So, but Bride of Frankenstein, she's mentioned, and she's one of the creatures that I think, because there are test subjects that are done before the creature. So I think she was one of them, but it wasn't until actual, like, the Boris Karloff of it all and him doing Frankenstein that then they created Bride of Frankenstein as a character.
Right on. All right.
Well, I know Guillermo del Toro said he will not be doing a Frankenstein 2, but I wonder, we need a Bride of Frankenstein. Well, yeah, I just felt that it was just so gut-wrenching towards the end when he was just like, please make me a companion. He's like, no.
Well, we are going to get a sort of Bride of Frankenstein movie next month. The Bride with Christian as a monster.
Yeah. That looks really,
looks like
really
Lady
good.
Gaga is the Bride.
Yeah.
She is, but she looks like Lady Gaga to me.
Yeah, that looks really, really good.
So I've been saying Emily, but it's Elizabeth. That's the character. Emily is from Corpse Bride. That's why I'm getting it confused. But
yes.
Yeah.
Yet another Frankenstein adaptation of sorts.
Yeah, it is. But so yeah, I don't think he would, because I think the interesting part in this is Elizabeth is a different character in this, and Elizabeth has this, like, we see it with the bugs and everything, but Elizabeth, she has this need to want something pure, and she sees that in the monster, and that's why her and the monster are like immediately like feel like tied to each other's soul, and that's why she defends the monster, and that's why when Victor tries to go kill him, that she ends up dying for the monster.
Well, now that I think about it, like, it'd be, I mean, if they ever did, it'd probably be cheesy, but if they ever wanted to, she's dead, they could easily bring her back as the bride.
Yeah.
I feel like,
I don't think people would want to see that, and I think people would hate it. But
yeah, because I think the whole idea of it is like he knows deep down, like, when she dies, that he's never going to get that back. Like in that moment where she hugs him, like it's almost like if Victor hadn't killed her, she might have ran away with the monster because she loved him enough to love him past who he was perceived as. And so when she dies and you see him like holding her body and stuff like that and how she lets go, I think I do think it would just be kind of not the greatest thing to come back and be like, well, psych, we're going to bring her back.
Yeah, like I said, it would definitely upset people for sure. Oh, man.
I
mean, it's not Dracula.
I mean, I still feel like we need another, like, we need something.
I would like him to continue to just, I don't think we need another Frankenstein. I think he needs to go in, and honestly, this is just me, but Guillermo, if you're out there, I feel like we could talk to each other. So you keep saying that you want to adapt.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
And you cast Charles Dance as the dad in this movie, knowing that Charles Dance was Phantom of the Opera in the 90s in a miniseries. So just bring it on. We already know you could do this. Netflix, bankroll it, write the check.
Right.
Okay, but who do you want to be the Phantom?
I feel like there are a lot of people who could be the Phantom. The thing about this is the Phantom has never been done the way it should be. It's the same way that's why people are excited about this Frankenstein, because this is a truer Frankenstein than we've seen, because Frankenstein, the character of the creature, gets vilified a lot, and it's not meant to. Victor is supposed to be the more deplorable character, and it's his pursuit of wanting life that makes him this horrible, awful person. So I don't know. I just know that if you go like the route that Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler, and you make it where he's the less desirable character, and you put somebody in there like that, I'm not buying it, man. Not buying it. Like, you can't. We got to have somebody. Like, you gave us Jacob Elordi as the monster in this one, and I've never been attracted to Jacob Elordi before, but him and the creature, I mean, he could have taken my money. I would have been okay with him.
So could have taken more than your money, bro.
The sexification, I guess, of Frankenstein. Like, you were okay with that?
Oh, I've always been okay with it. Like, bring it on. Like, I think I'm openly about like being attracted to monsters. I'm sorry. Like,
I mean,
I think it's better. You know?
Yeah, but like Dracula, people are like, oh, you like the hands? No, I like Dracula where he's got blood soaking down from his fangs, and he's a vicious killer, and he just snapped his mouth open and ate half of a person. That's the Dracula I want.
Right,
like, I don't care that he's a creature. Like,
I mean, it's better to make Frankenstein look hot than making Ed Gein look hot. Like, that just wasn't even fucking fair.
It was kind of weird, right? Yeah.
That was really weird. I'm even okay with him like sexifying the creature in Shape of Water and making that like a whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that, because like there's different strokes for different people. I'm okay with that. I think there's a time and a place for that. But yeah, I was okay with that. Like, the monster should be hot. Like,
yeah. See, I thought he should be not as pretty myself. But as far as Ed Gein, if Charlie Hunnam never took off his shirt, they would have got away with it. But like straight white man here, but like taking off his shirt, like, like, come on, dude. Like, every girl in the world's gonna, he's Charlie Hunnam without a shirt on. Come on.
I mean, shirt on or shirt off, like he's he's
a pretty man.
No, he is, but they did, the makeup, and they had his eye kind of wonky and stuff, and the clothes he wore, it worked. But like I said, as soon as his shirt comes off, like, he's like not hillbilly monster.
But I think he definitely, his acting and what he brought to, I think, was on point. Besides the voice, because he didn't really quite talk like that.
I don't know. See, for me, peak Charlie Hunnam was Crimson Peak, like another Guillermo del Toro movie. But like, peak him was in Crimson Peak. Like, him and Tom Hiddleston both, like, they could never, like, in my opinion, they could never get as good as they were in that movie. Like, but they were.
I loved him in Sons of Anarchy, so
I did too. But just
I have a thing for felons with motorcycles. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, same, but same. Except I am more the monster type. Like, Kylie literally has had discussions with me, like, not everyone can be Dracula Cass.
I've been trying to tell you more recently, like, literally not everybody can be Dracula. This is 2025. Men are fuck asses out here.
Yes.
and what you are requiring and expecting is unrealistic expectations. And I love you, friend, but until we find actual vampires, I don't know what to tell you.
I'll just stay in my books. It's fine.
Right on. Yeah, so I was thinking, like, after seeing this and after seeing, I didn't see Shape of Water, but hearing about it, I think, Guillermo del Toro might just should just complete the whole Universal Monsters.
Well,
universe.
he was supposed to. So he was supposed to do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He was originally a component of the Dark Universe before that got scrapped. So when Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Russell Crowe was supposed to be the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde character, which they kind of allude to in the failed Mummy reboot. Thanks, Tom Cruise, by the way. But he was supposed to be in charge of that. And that was kind of his segue of coming into he was originally supposed to do 3. And I think originally Shape of Water was actually supposed to be a creature film at that time, if I'm not mistaken. And then when it got scrapped, that's when he went a different route. Or I think it was like, it was one way or another. Like they saw it and they were like, okay, do Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And that's why he got brought on. And they had a whole plan for it. And then when the Mummy was as catastrophic and lost money as it did, they scrapped all of it.
Oh, you know, yeah, they didn't want to do anything else after that.
Yeah.
They were starting a whole new Universal Monsters thing at that point, and that Tom Cruise.
Because originally the plans that they have now with like the theme park and the theming that they have, a lot of that is taken from different blueprints that they had for each film. So by the time that was supposed to take place, we were already supposed to have a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde film. We were already supposed to have a Frankenstein film, and we were already supposed to have a new werewolf film.
Nice. Well, we did get a new werewolf film, but that's
but it was crap.
It was horrible. My son actually is at Dark Universe as we record this right now. I know. I'm jealous, big time jealous.
So, yeah, it's interesting to see how they're going to move forward with that, especially now that there are such successful adaptations like this, and now that they're bringing back the Mummy with Brandon Fraser and
that Mummy
Weiss, and so but then also too they're bringing back like the actual Universal Mummy, like. They're doing a separate Mummy film that actually the person that was in charge of Evil Dead Rise is doing the new Mummy film, and it's supposed to be like a scary mummy. So it's interesting to see like what their plan is going forward now that we're getting other adaptations from other people, how that's going to work within the Universal Monsters realm.
Right. So like, how does like the public domain rights work for this stuff? Like, isn't it like after 100 years anybody can do it?
Oh yeah, that's why. Like, my favorite thing to do is go on Tubi, and if you look at like Frankenstein, Dracula, Phantom of the Opera, all of that, that's why there have been so many different, and that's why like there's so many different Dracula movies, and why they
worry about going through Universal.
No, because. If they used, if I'm not mistaken, the likeness of like the Boris Karloff Frankenstein,
that's not public domain yet,
and that's not public domain, and like the likelihood of the bride, that's not public domain either, but the actual literature behind it is public domain.
Right, like how Kylie brought up Monster Squad. In that movie, they had to move the bolts on Frankenstein's. They're normally on his neck, but they put them on his head, or vice versa.
And they changed the design of the quote unquote creature, and all. That's how they got around doing a lot of that. Because Kylie and I, when we went to Scarefest, some of the people from Monster Squad were there.
Oh yeah, they had a big Monster Squad reunion.
Yeah. We actually met the Dracula from Monster Squad. And that was kind of a low point from the convention.
Really?
So
Can I just say it?
Yeah.
He was a jerk.
He was a jerk.
We might have just caught him at a bad time, but like we had asked if we could get like an interview with him or if we could do something with him. And he had not had really anybody at his table. and he like directed it. But it just for somebody like there are other people there, it was interesting. But I will tell you, we met the subspecies, like Denise Duff, Anders Hove, Ted Nicolau. Like we could have talked to them for 3 hours. They had all the time in the world for us. Like they were incredible. But I just think like maybe because things were going on, but it was a little disheartening because like I really wanted to ask him like how he felt about being named the scariest Dracula of all time.
He is pretty scary comparatively.
Yeah. So,
sure.
but I think Kylie was just upset because she could see the light in my eyes dimming after that. Like,
yeah,
I was, because I was just like, how dare you? How dare you? Like, you're my best friend's like adopted dad.
I will tell you some of the people there though. I will tell you, I did meet Jason Patrick from Lost Boys and talk to him. And like, I like part of my soul has not recovered from that. Like,
oh yeah.
So there were a lot of vampire people there, and they were great. But I think maybe we just caught him at a bad time. I'm not holding it against him because I think like convention stuff, and that's a huge convention, and like
and he's an older gentleman, right? I mean, he's got
well, and like when we met, I went up to Tom Adkins, and like Tom Adkins was but like Tom Adkins, he's an older like I'm like any moment you give me, I am incredibly like appreciative of because like you have done so much, and like the fact that you're still doing this convention in your 80s,
he loves
is
it.
is like a blessing. So like, thank you, sir, for like giving me your time.
Yeah, he's the best. I've met him before. He's a great dude.
But I will tell you that. But yeah, it was very interesting. But I will say that like I still think he's like the scariest vampire of all time.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
So with this movie, back to Frankenstein. So they had the boat was practical. The boat was real.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty shocking to find out. I thought for sure the whole thing was CGI. There was a lot of practical effects in this. They had a lot of gore.
Yeah.
Gore, man.
Guillermo del Toro was very insistent upon if they were going to do this, that he was going to have the sets to do this. So a lot of it, like the castle,
the lab was real.
The lab was real. The castle, the outfacing, like that was actually built for that. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of it is. And I mean, like, again, Guillermo del Toro is a geek like us. So like, you know, after all this is done, he's the one that's like taking it back and like hoarding it in his house so he can like put it up.
Probably got that boat in his backyard.
It would not surprise me. Like he is just that person. But yeah, I think one of the things he was really insistent on was making sure that that boat was real. And you could tell that like when you're watching the actual like the components with the boat, you can tell that that's a real boat.
And the sets were amazing. The costumes were making. They're gonna get nominated for all of that. They're gonna. I don't know if there's a best actor in here for Oscars purposes. He'll definitely get nominated for best director. It'll probably get nominated for best picture. It's gonna be huge.
I think Jacob Elordi should get nominated. I also think Oscar Isaac should get nominated because like it's very hard to make somebody that
Waltz might get a nod there.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz's character is fantastic, especially for it not being a true
just being like added in.
Yeah, and the reason that they did that is because of the fact that he is Elizabeth's uncle, and he's profiting off death.
Yes.
And like that's Elizabeth's like whole.
There was even a part where when he wanted to be the monster, he wanted his brain to go in.
Yeah,
I'll give you my niece. You can have her. You know, like dude, what?
Well, because he was dying of he was dying of something that a lot of people were dying of, that he was dying of syphilis, which was like rotting him from the inside out. So that was his way of getting mortality again. So yeah, he was willing to sell out a lot of it, which I think Elizabeth kind of knew from the get-go that he was willing to do whatever it took. But I do the fire scene when Victor decides to like burn everything down with the creature in it. That whole scene is just jaw-dropping. Like the practical, it's beautiful. The practical effects behind it, like everything is just, I just never thought we would see something like that faithful. And just the idea of like him going through and doing it is just, I wanted to win all the awards. That or Sinners.
We just don't see a lot of movies anymore with great practical effects and things.
No, for sure. Everybody just wants to use CGI and computer. Don't.
Which I think to an extent, CGI is okay. Like, I'm really loving the new Welcome to Derry. Their use of CGI, like I get. But I think with something like Frankenstein practical effects, I just kind of depends on the movie and show.
Yeah. I'm glad that they spent more time in this movie, at least, you know.
Yeah.
Well, because
building the sets and everything.
Yeah.
Something like Welcome to Derry, where Pennywise is so many different things. The way that they're melding the practical with the CGI makes sense, because there are certain things that you just couldn't do with practical effects. But when you're adapting something like Frankenstein or Dracula or different things, that is where you need to have practical effects, because this is something that very lives in so much of reality, because the themes behind a lot of these Gothic literature is the monsters that are inside of us, that are actually, you know, the monsters that you see are not the actual monsters. It's the monsters that are inside. That are the most, and I get it. I'm a Dracula apologist. Dracula is not supposed to be a good character in the book. He is not. The Dracula we see on screen a lot of times is not the actual Dracula. Same way with Frankenstein. Like, a lot of the adaptations of Frankenstein weren't really true until this one. And even this one, they've made changes. But I think when you're talking about certain things like this, you have to go more practical, because even like Elizabeth, like her costuming, the way that they just, like, a lot of her outfits are more enhanced and more, they focus on like bugs and her love of bugs. And you can see that in the cuts of her costumes and like her outfits and different things like that. And she's meant to have this like pure angelic kind of aura around her, even with like her hats and different things like that. The same thing with Victor. Like Victor, the use of his costume, like with red and with just some of the items, like that's all metaphorically supposed to mean something. Like the use of Medusa in the layer and in the background and stuff, kind of reflecting the whole idea of monster and somebody being turned into a monster but not really being the monster, that kind of, so it's all supposed to be like a symbolic of everything. So I think you can use CGI in something that you need to when it comes to like Pennywise and having unlimited powers, but somebody like Frankenstein, it's just not going to work. Like
Right, and I'm sure they used some CGI in this movie, but there was a lot of practical effects to make it work. And the CGI that was there wasn't like super obvious like in some movies.
Yeah,
just getting better at it, I guess, maybe. What else? So Mia Goth in this movie, I was kind of disappointed by her.
I was too.
I didn't think that she stood out too much, and you know, I've liked her in everything else. I think that she was just seemed like an afterthought in this film.
She seemed like a wall decoration.
Right, exactly, absolutely.
But that's the intention behind it. So Mia Goth's character in this movie is a lot more amped up than in the original book. Her Elizabeth in the book is supposed to be like fleshing into the Elizabeth is not in an important character, like she is, but she is not. She has no profoundness behind her. So in this movie they did give her a little bit more, and I think for me,
she had the personality of a shoe. I was not seeing what Frankenstein was seeing, but okay, bro.
Well, yeah, but that was enough, I guess. For some guys, it's all you need.
But here's the thing. You're talking about in this movie, it is very much a conversation of gods and monsters. And for her character, and we also have to remember some parts of this were cut out too. So like her parts with the like being put in the nunnery and different things like that, those were cut out. So a lot of her parts were kind of pushed down. She, according to Mia Goth in this movie, there are other scenes, and there is supposed to be like a re-release happening now that we're talking about it, where they're supposed to be putting, I think, up to 15 to 20 extra minutes in, where they're putting...
There's a cut of this movie that's over 4 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot more put into it, but her character in the book is not remarkable. Her character in this, she's not supposed to be...
I know, but I just got excited because it's Mia Goth, and I just thought I would.
I think it's because we're used to Mia Goth being in your face, and Mia Goth in this movie is.
Yeah, but I think that there was just nothing to her personality. Like I just was not seeing what Victor or Frankenstein was like, just going nuts over. Like I just don't.
Well, back then in the time that it was, a girl didn't need to be much more than pretty.
Yeah. I mean, she is very much crazy over this. She is a character that is supposed to be pushed in the background. Her uncle is this big notorious character, and she's supposed to be one of those people that are supposed to be seen and not heard. And so even the little bits that we but I mean, they did give her some kind of personality. I do think that they probably have more of her in the extended cut, but we also have to remember that her even having a part in this is a change up to begin with, because this story is not about her character.
Well, I feel like with her, like Mia Goth's going to be in this movie, that like I feel like that was something to draw people in. But like you didn't deliver, which I'm not expecting her to be like Maxine or
No, I expect what I mean.
Yeah, but it's
she didn't even really have a whole lot of screen time.
Because she's not supposed to. The only screen time.
Cassandra, I don't like it. Okay, I don't care about.
I don't know what you want me to tell you.
You want me to like a monster love story, and I'm not seeing what's so great about her. Okay, whatever. Her character, she dies, and then Frankenstein's just left to wander about the world, fucking alone and sad, and I don't like it.
Well, her character even being like that kind of pure figure for Frankenstein in the first place isn't in the actual book. Like the tones of that aren't in the actual book. Like some of it is, but I mean, her role was more vastly. I do understand bringing Mia Goth in, you think it would be more, but it's just not.
Maybe Mia Goth really just can't like act.
No, we're not here for that slander.
Shut up.
She just didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, Mia Goth can act. I just think.
Yeah, you see that? That's my son. The picture of the castle thingy. I'll post it in.
That's so cool.
I think a lot of people did expect her to have a bigger part, but we also have to remember that this story is more. I'm a feminist, okay, first and foremost, but this story is more about man and how man destroys.
Right. And like I said, like I didn't expect her to be like a focal point of the movie or a big star.
Because a lot of people also had a fault with her being in the beginning of it and her being the mom and her not.
I like that. I like that. And I understood the whole idea behind it.
Yeah.
Like, I just think anybody could have been that role and it wouldn't have changed a thing.
Exactly.
But you got to think for the goth girlies, especially like her being on screen and the outfits. If you want something for Christmas this year for your significant other that is a goth girly, that's the assignment. All of us want to be Mia Goth running through a castle in the middle of the night in a very intricate nightgown holding a candelabra. Like that is the assignment.
That sounds Guillermo, very
yes. It is. Like it is. So, but no, I think Guillermo's a monster girly. He knows putting Mia Goth in there, having Mia Goth be this beautiful like centerpiece with the outfits and different things. It is going to cause a commotion.
Yeah.
So do I think that maybe her character, I would like to see the actual full cut. I think there are a lot of people that don't. I would sit for the 5-hour cut.
This movie was supposed to be 3 movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know how the first part where Victor was telling his story and then, you know, how it was broken down into 3 movies, or 3 parts in the thing. There was supposed to be 3 separate movies like that. I'm glad they didn't do that because that would have been a huge risk, because if the first one doesn't hit, then what about the second and the third? You know, who knows?
And I do think that later on we are going to see a cut of this.
Right.
That is more the 4 or 5 hours. That is going to be Guillermo's cut. And I do think then we'll see that, because according to Mia Goth and Oscar Isaac, they filmed a lot of like her being in the nunnery and just different scenes with her that got cut out of it, and different scenes with Oscar Isaac as well, and just like war stuff and different things like that. So I do think
you're talking about nunnery, like being a nun.
Yeah, she was in a convent.
I've never heard of it called nunnery.
I don't know. Maybe I did. I would think
don't come for me.
Sounds better, but it could be a nunnery. I don't know. Why?
I like that better than covenant.
I like covenant better, but
I mean, I like the word better. I don't like none of it, but I mean, like, yeah, nunnery.
Nunnery sounds weird. That's a weird.
Listen, maybe that's a thing in my mind. Okay, don't come for me.
I'm sure it's a real thing, but I just think that it's a funny sounding word. I'm gonna look it up.
It sounds like something I call my kids.
Right, goofy, something like that. Right?
My goofy nicknames, and I just keep thinking that like
listen. Whether you call it a covenant,
convent.
Whether you call it a convent or a nunnery, they're having a moment between this and the Dracula movie. Convents they're getting their exposure.
Right on. So I guess we're at about an hour, and that's about how long this thing usually goes. So I guess let's rate the movie, and we grade movies here on a scale of A to F, letter grades, not like numbers. So Kylie, we'll go with you first, and you.
I mean, like, are we in school? Oh, A to F, yeah, duh. Sorry.
It was Ryan's idea, so that's the way he did it, and we just stick with it, even though he abandoned me.
He kind of did.
He left me.
He left me with a group of misfits.
Well, I would give it an A-.
A-. Now, what makes it not an A? What did you take it from an A to an A-?
Mia Goth.
Same. Exactly where you are. A-, and that's the reason.
Yes, Mia Goth.
It would be an A+.
If you're listening, Mia Goth, I understand.
I love you, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed. People, please don't come for me. I know I have spicy.
This is a common complaint about the movie. It's not just for me.
I also didn't really like how Victor was just immediately horrible to Frankenstein, which I wouldn't really necessarily put that into why I graded it like that. It's more just Mia Goth. And I was just sad at the end, like poor Frankenstein, just wandering through the world.
I think Victor was like that to Frankenstein because Elizabeth was noticing him and he didn't like that.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
They explain it in the beginning of the movie why Victor does that. If you go back and you watch the movie and you watch that scene where he's with his dad in the beginning and he's got the pregnant woman, like the display before his father hits him, he has a conversation with him and he's talking about living tissue is just tissue. No, like he's basically telling him no emotion, no this and that. And so like the symbolism of like him getting hit on the one side of the cheek, and then when his mom is dying and gets carted away when she's giving birth and he's got the blood red,
the other side
it symbolizes his trauma. So his trauma response is he doesn't know the significance of life. That's why his relationship with his brother is as colored as it is, because to him, his father has raised him to believe that his brother has no significance. Like life has no significance because of that. So when he does this and it becomes a life and he realizes he actually has to take care of it, that's where that part comes in. So, which I don't think they did. You kind of really have to watch that to get that. I didn't even get that the first time. I
just wasn't expecting it. I was expecting more of just kind of like a build up to like that moment. You know what I mean?
I will tell you, I appreciated it because out of all the Victor Frankensteins that I've seen, I appreciated this version better than anywhere else because Victor Frankenstein is a fucking monster. And he's meant to be that way. So I appreciated the fact that Oscar Isaac was, this man's fucking horrible. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So
it was great for sure.
For me, I will say it's an A-. As well.
Being an A for you, since it's not
it's not an A- because of Mia Goth.
Yes,
Mia Goth, I see you. I do think that Netflix dropped the ball by not letting this be long. I feel like if they come back and they do an abridged version of this, where they come back and they let Guillermo actually hit the runtime he wants to, and maybe it is 4 or 5 hours, and
if it exists, I'm sure. I mean, if it's done, there's no reason for them to not do it because all they have to do is hit a button.
Yeah.
You know I mean,
I feel like that would be the A absolute, like for me, because I do think that maybe there are some things that had to get cut for the runtime and that they took out that I think probably needs to be put back in so we could see. But I just thought I was very highly impressed. There have been some great films this year, but there have also been some films that have just been dog shit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. I don't.
You guys don't like Weapons.
Yeah, I wasn't. Weapons was okay, but Weapons was not what everyone made it out to be.
Yeah.
And I felt like in this year where we had such profound fucking movies and horror, it was just mediocre. It was not what everyone was letting it. I'm going to tell you, if anyone comes to me to the face and says Weapons is the movie of the year over Frankenstein or Sinners, I'm not going to believe you.
Oh, I liked it a lot, and I think I gave it a B+, A-. I don't remember which, but I like this better. This is definitely better. Like Weapons is not going to get Oscar consideration. Sinners in this,
well, they're saying that Weapons
it's being nominated for some Oscars, and I just don't. I don't think it
will be.
I don't think
that it will be, but
I feel like maybe now that Frankenstein's out,
Golden Globe, maybe not Oscar.
I don't think. I think if anything is going to get Oscars, I think it's going to be Sinners or Frankenstein, and
as far as the horror realm, that's the only two things that are going to get considered.
Yeah, I deeply appreciated the time that was being taken for this film. I like that. Listen, it's Goth Girl Winter. it's Nosferatu, Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, winter, the Goth Girls are out. It's Christmas. And for those of you who say Nosferatu is not a Christmas movie, I don't believe you. It is. It's a Christmas movie. Frankenstein is the same
For some
thing.
people, it's Christmas movie,
Yeah, well, listen, I believe it is. So we're calling it that. It's fine. It's good. But I just appreciated the fact that there was so much time taken with this movie. There were very conscientious choices, and it's not just we're making a Frankenstein film and this is what it's going to be. It was we're making this movie and this is what we are doing. And that's what I appreciated about it.
Since we're talking about, movies overall this year, and so Kylie, two questions. What is the best horror movie of the year that you've seen? And what is your favorite horror movie of the year? Because those are definitely two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely two different things.
Or maybe they're not, but I mean, they can be two different things.
They are two different things.
For me, they are.
I would say as far as bigger production, bigger budget type of movie, I would definitely say
Sinners. What do you think is the best movie of the year?
I would definitely say Sinners.
Because Tarantino movies are great and hardly ever have a giant budget, So they.
I don't like Tarantino. He can go to
hell. Well, just an example.
Yeah, listen. I'm just gonna make a PSA for the Horrorcraft podcast. Quentin Tarantino, you're full of fucking shit. Next time you have some things to say about
his opinions lately are, I don't know. I think he has a new movie coming out, and he's just trying to get people to talk about him.
Listen, you lost me when you said something about Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard's over here minding his business.
Right.
You said something about him, and it's just because Matthew Lillard is more of a genuine person than you probably ever could be. And it's okay.
He's just saying clickbait because he's got something coming.
Yeah, and listen, if you want to be clickbait,
that's Paul Dano, leave him alone.
Paul Dano. Listen, Owen Wilson might be a lot of things, but listen, he was fucking Lightning McQueen. Leave Lightning McQueen alone.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah. Owen Wilson's not a bad guy. Come on.
So what would you say the best movie of the year was, and what was your favorite movie of the year? I think I missed it.
My favorite movie of the year.
She said the best movie of the year was Sinners.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that's my best favorite.
Yeah. So what was your favorite movie?
I got two because.
Give me two. Whatever.
Well, I loved Hell House LLC Lineage. I was so excited and to be able to go see that, and I loved it. And I've watched it again with my husband. He wanted to throw his milk at the TV at the end, but I picked up on more things again. But another one is The Man with the Black Umbrella. Yeah. That movie has been the most solid movie I've seen all year that has scared the entire shit out of me.
Okay, I gotta watch that. I haven't seen that.
Oh, Rick, you have to. Kylie had me watch it at her house after Scarefest, and she made me watch it while it was raining, which when you watch the movie, you will understand why that is the most fucked up thing to ever do. But genuinely, afterwards, Jim and Dakota, both of our significant others, came in, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean, Kylie? And I just they're like, Jim and Dakota were like, apparently we need to watch this movie. And Dakota's like, if it's got Cass and Kylie both for a loss of words, then I definitely have to watch this movie. And I was like, yes, you do, but you're going to be so mad at it.
So same question to you, Cass. What do you think is the best film of the year, and what is your favorite film of the year?
So best film of the year definitely is Sinners. I mean, Ryan Coogler knew what he was doing when he did this. And I mean, the fact that I cried recently when they did Chadwick Boseman's Hollywood Walk of Fame star, and they were talking about it. And that Michael B. Jordan was saying that during the filming of the movie that he would tell him, what would Chadwick do? And it got him in the mode to but just how beautifully done that movie is, and just the fact that it is the closest thing that we are probably ever going to get from dusk till dawn in our lifetime. And that experience of watching it for the first time, not knowing what to expect, and then being hit over the head with it. But just like how cool Michael B. Jordan was in that movie as both characters, and how there was just such symmetry, just such love and reverence behind different cultures that were brought into it, the voodoo side, just everything. And like that last scene with the Ku Klux Klan and them taking them on. And I absolutely just thought it was breathtaking. It probably was one of my favorite movies of the year, but it was not my favorite.
Okay, what was your favorite?
Year. I got to watch Bloodlines with Kylie when we were.
That was
and Bloodlines was like, because I remember how like Final Destination was something that started when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And I remember I remember watching them at different sleepovers. And so watching that and like how beautifully that was put together was just like a whole other level for me. I will say the other one that I'm about to say is a very spicy topic, I think, in the horror genre right now. And people can really kiss my ass with this one.
There you go, right on.
But Black Phone 2, like I understand that there were people that did not like Black Phone 2 because it was way different than Black Phone 1, but I think that was intentional. And I think just the way that they talked about trauma, and especially the sister's trauma in this movie, and how they just kind of talked about such deep family issues, it was just fucking wonderful. And you know, we were getting ready for Dios dos Muertos month during that point in time. So like when I watched it for the first time, I'm bawling my fucking eyes out with my cat and I look like a hot mess. But I just thought it is such a different movie from the first one. And it is hard to come back and really just knock you in the face. But I think the way that they did it was just absolutely wonderful. And
I
it was
heard a lot of good things about it from 50-50 with that one. Some people are saying that it wasn't so good, and some people are saying it's the best movie of the year. You know, like you're not the first person to tell me that. So
yeah, I liked it better than the first one. I'm not gonna lie. I love the first one, but like I just really enjoyed the second one a lot better, I think. I don't know. I never mind. I take that back.
I also think it's for anyone who has had a complicated relationship with their own family, but also their mother, like a mother-daughter relationship. I think it did a lot. So I definitely would say that. I would also say though, Man with the Black Umbrella, because the fact that Ricky did that film for as much money as he did, and it's fucking terrifying, is kind of next level.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out for sure. Yeah, we got our year-end show coming up sometime in January, so we do like we did it last year. We had like an Oscar style horror award thing. I think last year was a better year for movies, but I think we got some really good ones this year. My opinion, I think this Frankenstein. I think this is the best movie of the year. Sinners was really good too. I really like that a lot. My favorite film of the year was The Monkey.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Bloodlines.
That was so fun.
And Bloodlines really fun too.
I would say
the theater. I downloaded the whole soundtrack, and you couldn't find the soundtrack, so I had to go in and find each individual song because that soundtrack was banger for sure.
Yeah, I would say that Dracula: A Love Tale is another one, but the U.S. release of that is not until next year. And I do think that is going to start horror off for the year in a really good mind frame, especially given like how fed we've been with Sinners and then Frankenstein. But it's hard to say that was the movie this year because it didn't have a domestic release.
That's for next year.
Yeah, but I would say that is the movie to beat. And listen, again, I know it's not actual Dracula, That's why they're calling it Dracula Love Tale. It's like based off Dracula. It's not actual, but it's more about the love story. But I feel like it is the most comparable we are going to get to Francis Ford Coppola's version in our lifetime.
Right on.
So
speaking of vampire movies, did you see the Abraham's Boys or whatever it was called?
Yes, I did. Oh, I loved it.
Good. I liked it too, but a lot of other people not so much. But I
really enjoyed it, and I am also really excited that we're in the sphere that we are in right now with vampire movies. Mm-hmm. I just think we're getting such good things. Like, I'm super excited for the Vampire Lestat next year, because I just think like Interview was great, but Vampire Lestat opens us up to a whole other universe, because we're talking like Akasha, the ancient Egypt, the vampires from there and stuff like that. So I'm just excited because I feel like we're just going to start seeing an explosion in vampire content and in monster content because of these movies. And I'm here for it.
Hell yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Where can we follow your guys' stuff? And we'll put that out there for people that watch our stuff that don't already follow your stuff.
You tell them, Kylie.
We are on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and our personal Instagram, Facebook pages. I am That Weird Girl Kylie on Instagram. She is Plus Size Horror Barbie on Instagram as well. Did I say my correct name? I don't know.
We'll put it on there, but then we are hopefully going to have our Patreon page started.
Yeah, let me know how to do that.
Yeah. Oh no, we will. So
we will help you, Rick.
I don't got a Patreon, but I got one of these buy me a coffee gimmicks, like that QR code.
I've been looking at that. Is that cool?
Nobody's bought me a coffee yet, so I don't know. Be the first. Click the QR code above Kylie's head. But like, yeah, you can like it's code. Like $2-3 or whatever, $5, whatever you want to do. And
let's see.
I don't know how it works really, but that's the QR code that'll take you there.
Okay.
But
that's cool.
Yeah, and then we got that, and then we got, of course, the merchandise, which is now the QR code that's above Kylie's head, and the shirt that she's wearing currently, and many
yes.
But yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, for sure. Like I was thinking about doing a Patreon thing, but like watch-alongs of movies and things like that, and just some fun stuff. But I have no idea how to do it, so haven't done it yet. But
I'll teach you.
All right. On that note, I am going to get the hell out of here because I have stuff to do. But thank you guys for coming on and taking the time. It's real fun talking to you guys. I'm glad that I waited to have you guys do this movie because no offense to Brewster, but I think you guys covered it better than him and I could have.
We love Brew, but like Brew, you're not the person for this.
This is perfect for this. I mean, you just had all the facts, and it's going to be. I think people are really going to dig this episode. I don't know when it's going to come out or how it's going to come out, but it's going to come out.
Yeah,
I will let you guys know when it does. Like we got 2 Thursdays coming up in the next couple of weeks where they're holidays, so it might be. I might just put it on one of those days and take a day off, but or I might just load it separately to YouTube and post it on the page. But again, guys, thanks so much for coming on, and we'll have to do this again sometime. I'm gonna hit the little outro video. You're gonna see an outro video, and then when the outro video is over, I won't be here anymore because I gotta run upstairs.
Okay. All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait a minute, I didn't hit the button. Hit the wrong button.
Oh shit. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood.